All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your Week 7 Dynasty Football League report. I'm going to give it a few moments to let some people pop in here real quick so they can be a part of this as we go live and check it out. Whoo! Get loud. Alright. I'm actually up on my computer as well. See how many people can get in here during this live event. For those of you wondering, we will be seeing a Outlaw Championship Wrestling show later. Roughly 5 o'clock we'll be going live. So I'm ready for that and I'm stoked for that. Let me get this shared out real quick. Copy the link. Paste that here. DFL report. Okay. Sounds good, sounds good, sounds good. Alright, give me about 30 seconds and we'll be ready. Alright, the first thing we're going to look at, we're going to check out, is the upcoming Week 7 schedule. It should be interesting. Hop in here. First game on the ticker here should be all the way at the bottom, actually, which is stupid. It should be at the top. There it is. Now, I don't necessarily put these games out in that order, but you've got the Houston Gunners at the Salt Lake City Pioneers. So that's going to be a game between the Gunners and the Pioneers. The Aviators are at the Sentinels. Technically, that's the Monday night game. But again, we'll run through these games in whichever order we happen to tick them off and put them up. But going back to the top of the schedule here, the Beats are at the Shamrocks. Should be a very interesting game. Very excited for that one. These are two owners that are fully involved, fully dedicated to their teams. So I like that one. You got the Chicago Cougars at the San Antonio Express. Very, very interesting game. The Cougars have been one of the better teams, have been to fall off a little bit. The Express are really starting to come on, so this should be fun. Let's see, the Crusaders are at the Riverhogs. Should be a really fun game. Both teams need to win this game to stay ahead in their division. We'll get to the standings here in just a bit. The Hounds will get a default victory for playing the 49ers, as will the Redwoods playing the Saints. Black Knights are at Seahawks. There's a win. Then you've got the Nighthawks at the Desperados. Tough divisional game right there. Those two teams are currently 1 and 2 in the division. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3 games right there that we have to run on the air. This is a 4th. There is a 5th. And this is a 6th. So we'll have 6 games that will be airing over the next few days for a Week 7. Now we're going to get to the standings, let you guys take a look at the playoff picture, and let you know what's going on around the league. Go straight to the AFC first. Here is your playoff picture. The Sentinels and the Nighthawks, both currently undefeated. The last 2 of the undefeateds would have the current byes. The Redwoods would be at the Crusaders, and the I said that real sweet. Yeah, the Redwoods would be at the Riverhogs. Wow. So there you go. Redwoods at the Riverhogs, and the Crusaders will. I'm saying it wrong. Riverhogs at the Redwoods. I'll get this out of my mouth yet. I'm a dumb fuck this morning. So yes, Riverhogs at the Redwoods, Crusaders at the Beats would be playing each other. So now we'll go division by division. In the North, the Beats are 4-1, the Cougars are 4-2. The Aviators 2-4, and the Mounties 2-4. And as you can see by the streak, Aviators are on a one win streak, and the other three are all on a 1-game losing streak. Very, very interesting. Going to the South, the Nighthawks 6-0, Desperados 3-2, Express 3-3, and the Gunners are 2-3. And you see the Gunners there, 2-3, 3-game losing streak after starting 2-3. And the Gunners have some injuries. We'll be going over each team's injury report following this. And I will give every owner the opportunity to reach out to me whether or not they need to make some changes to their rosters because of injuries. Going to the East, Sentinels 6-0, the Memphis Hounds 3-2, the London Black Knights 3-2, and the Dublin Shamrocks are 3-3. It's very tight from 2 to 4. The Sentinels have a clear lead, big time advantage. And something that stands out to me real quick with this division, look at the points scored. 193 for the Sentinels. And the team in last place, the Shamrocks, are next with 102. That's 91 more points than anyone else, 100 more than the second place team, and 110 more than the Black Knights. The Sentinels offense is just lighting up the scoreboard compared to the rest of the division. And then going to the West, very tight division right here, the toughest division clearly in the league as of right now. Redwoods 1-4, San Diego Crusaders 4-2, the Portland Riverhogs also 4-2, and the Salt Lake City Pioneers are 1-5, clearly struggling to get it together. They're on a 4-game losing streak, and Riverhogs 2 games and the Redwoods 2 games. Crusaders just came up short this week, so it was a tough loss for them, or they would be sitting at 5-1 atop the division. Now we will move into the statistics, let you guys know where everyone stands. We'll go to the team stats first. All right, the number 1 offense in the league belongs to the Nighthawks. Crusaders are number 2. The Sentinels are 3. Riverhogs 4. Aviators 5. Express 6. Shamrocks 7. Pioneers 8. Mounties 9. Beats 10, Gunners are 11, Redwoods 12, Cougars 13, Desperados 14, Black Knights 15, and the Memphis Hounds are dead last, almost 300 yards behind the Black Knights. Now remember, some teams have played 5 games, some teams have played 6 games. It can be a little deceiving when you look at it that way. So going right here, the number 1 passing team in the league is the Crusaders with Mitchell Trubisky under center. I gotta say that's impressive when you think about it. The Nighthawks are 2, Riverhogs 3, Pioneers 4, Express 5, Aviators 6, Sentinels 7, Desperados 8, Redwoods 9, Shamrocks 10, Mounties 11, Black Knights 13, Cougars 13, Gunners 14, the Beats are 15, and the Hounds are dead last in the passing game. Almost 400 yards. It's 350 to be exact, between 16 and 15. That is crazy. Going to the rushing leaders. The Sentinels lead the league in rushing. The Nighthawks are 2. The Beats are 3. There you go. Beats 3 in rushing, but 15 in passing, so you know where their bread and butter is as far as moving the ball. Gunners are 4, Crusaders 5, Cougars 6, Mounties 7, Shamrocks 8, Hounds are 9, Riverhogs 10, Aviators 11th, Express 12, Pioneers 13, Redwoods 14, Desperados 15, Black Knights 15, and the Desperados dead last with 326 rushing yards is last, and 910 is first. Big difference. And then, like we said over here, 593 is the last place. Big difference there. And then it's 1551. So he's almost 1,000 yards behind the number 1 team. Points per game. goes to the Sentinels, who are averaging 32.2 points a game. 29-7 for the Nighthawks. Crusaders. These Crusaders are all atop these top offensive rankings, man. 24-2. Riverhawks 24-2. And then we just go on down the list, and you see where these teams are offensively. There's the Hounds 18-6, which is just a shock that they have that many points per game considering, but they score a lot with their defense. I wish this game actually showed that statistic. And there's the last place, Pioneers. That might explain why they're 1-5 going into the passing. My damn headset out, so I'm an idiot. My damn. All right, make sure we're working. Okay, passing touchdowns, only 2 for the Hounds. Last place, 14 for the Nighthawks. Lead the league, 13-12, and then we'll just go down the list. There's them Crusaders again. Just straight on down the list on how these teams score. No rushing touchdowns. I see that already for the Desperados. Now we'll get into the rushing touchdowns. Sentinels lead the league. Nighthawks, Gunners, Pioneers, Aviators, Shamrocks, and on down. Only 2 rushing touchdowns for a lot of these teams. One for the Mounties and the Black Knights, and I'm going to address the Beats. They had 0 rushing touchdowns heading into their last game. Get 2 and ended up losing, which was a shock. So, but they're better than the team they lost to, so they'll rebound, I'm pretty sure of that. Still no rushing touchdowns for the Desperados. Unbelievable. I'm going to take a look at this for the first time. 112 first downs, leads the league. Crusaders. If I'm Drew Ritter, who owns the San Diego Crusaders, I'm pretty confident, pretty sure he's already aware. Defense might be where he needs to go in the draft and in the offseason. All right, we're going to move on to the defense now. Here, there we go. Number 1 defense in the league belongs to the Redwoods. 4-1 Redwoods, number 1 defense in the league. Desperados are 2. Hounds 3, Black Knights 4, Sentinels 5, Beats 6, Aviators 7, Gunners 8, Shamrocks 9, Nighthawks 10, Riverhogs 11, Mounties 12, Pioneers 13, Cougars 14, and there's the Crusaders 15th with the Express 16th. Now, number 1 pass team in the league as far as defense. The Redwoods come up number 1 again, followed by the Black Knights, the Desperados, the Sentinels. So that's what, 1, 2, 3. Sentinels are 4. Number 5 is your Hounds. Beats 6, Aviators 7, Pioneers 8, Shamrocks 9, Gunners 10, Mounties 11, Nighthawks 13, Riverhogs. Yeah, I'm getting my numbers all mixed. 16, there we go, 16. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Since I don't know how to count to 16, we'll do it that way. I can count backwards better than I can count forwards. What a dumb bitch. All right, the number 1 rush defense in the league is the Desperados, and that spells bad news for the Nighthawks. What's going on, Cuevas? Because the Nighthawks just lost their star running back for, I believe it's 9 weeks, and they're now going to play the number 1 rush defense coming up. Hounds are number 2 against the rush. Redwoods 3, Beats 4, Nighthawks 5, Riverhogs 6, Cougars 7, Gunners 8, Sentinels 9, Black Knights 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Man, points allowed. Look at this. Desperados lead the league in points allowed with 59. And I'm just going to scroll down. You can catch where you're at. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. 165 points are the most allowed. 165 and 59. That's 106 more points allowed by the Pioneers. A 5'8", 200-pound running back. He's going to be a short, stocky little fella. Not make it interesting. All right, leading the team in sacks is the Sentinels with 27. 27 big sacks for the Sentinels. That's one of the key reasons why they are undefeated for sure. Then we'll just scroll down the list. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the beats have been climbing since they added Aaron Donald. And then there we go, the rest of the way down. The Gunners are last with 11. Fumble recoveries belong to the Hounds with 13. Cougars, Mounties, Beats, Sentinels, Riverhogs, Black Knights, Nighthawks, Crusaders, Pioneers, Desperados, Express, Redwoods, Gunners, Shamrocks, and Aviators still have yet to recover a fumble. Are you kidding me? They've yet to recover a fumble after 6 games. Leading the league in interceptions is the Nighthawks with 11. Then it's the Redwoods, the Hounds, the Sentinels, the Black Knights, the Desperados, the Express, Shamrocks, Aviators, Cougars, Riverhogs, Mounties, Gunners, Crusaders, Beats, and Pioneers. And I'll say this right here about the Beats. They get to the quarterback and are going to continue to get to the quarterback. If they can get more players in the secondary, their defense is going to go like this. Climb. So we as a team's got to figure out how the hell we're going to deal with that. And just for fun, I want to check out the red zone efficiency. You see this here, 100% scoring in the red zone by the Nighthawks. Whether it's touchdown or field goals, they've scored every single time. Riverhogs 94%, Beats 90. Then it's 88 for the Mounties, very impressive. Granted, they're not getting as many touchdowns as they'd like, but they're scoring. 85, 81, and we're just going to scroll down here, and we'll show you that the Gunners are 53%, scoring only 7 times when in the red zone. Not good. Not good at all. Defensive. The Mounties are number 1 at stopping scoring, I believe. I'm sorry, they're the worst. I have it backwards. They are the worst. Then it's the Pioneers. So we're going to flip this. There you go. Number 1 defense in the league in the red zone is the Hounds. Then the Cougars. Then the Beats. Then the Nighthawks. And then the list goes on. Down the list. Yeah, these Pioneers clearly need to pick up some defense. All right, now we're going to go to the player stats. We'll see who the tops are in the league at each position. I'm not going to scroll through it too much. This is based off yards. Trubisky is number 1 in the league, followed by Prescott, Rodgers, Rivers, Brady, and Mayfield. And look at those completion percentages with all those players. Only Brady's under 70%, and he's at 69. That's unfreaking believable. I can't even believe that. Leading the league in touchdowns, the award goes to Prescott and Rodgers of the Riverhogs, each with 13. Most interceptions in the league goes to Brady with 11. Trubisky comes close with 10. Yards per game, obviously, it's going to be the same thing here. There you see Matt Ice. I said Matt Ice. Matty Ice. Matt Ryan himself. Nobody's averaging 300 yards a game passing, which I find shocking. But hey, what are you going to do? Going to rushing. There is the league rushing leader with 647 yards. He is injured. As I stated, he is injured. I believe he is out 9 weeks. I'll be showing that here after these stats. So clearly the Nighthawks need to address this issue. They need to get somebody in there to replace him. Not good news if you're an OKC. Then there you see Mark Ingram, number 2, followed by Kamara at 3, Alex Collins at 4, Saquon Barkley at 5, Ezekiel Elliott is at 6. Most rushing touchdowns, I believe, belongs to Ingram with 6, yes. And then Gordon with 4, and then we have a bunch of guys with 3, and then Kamara with 2. Average rushing yards a game, 118, 107, 105. The only 3 guys in the league that average over 100 yards. Kamara, clearly the man. And I say this, if you're the Beats, you might want to run that guy a little bit more with the numbers he's putting up. But we're going to have to see what they do. Going to receiving. We're going to go and do receptions first. Well, here we go. Leading the league in receptions is Zach Ertz. Look at all these tight ends. All top 6 guys are tight ends. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. Then you have Sevens Freeman, and there's your number 1 receiver as a wide receiver. It's Marvin Jones from the Crusaders with 34. Clearly shows, look at that, 35 receptions, only 87 yards. That's ugly. But it shows you, ladies and gentlemen, this is clearly a tight end league. And I'm going to say it now. For those of you in this league who do not know what I'm about to say, pay attention. Because you better know it, and you better learn it, and you better figure it out quick. Once the Brooklyn Beats and Ed Ritter get their hands on a tight end that he can develop and produce the way he wants, you're all, including myself, are fucked. Because Ed is a tight end fucking magician. He's a tight end wizard. And once he figures it out and he can utilize him in the sim world, his fucking offense, I don't even want to think about it. But moving on to the yards. It belongs to Hooper of the Sentinels with 490 yards. 83 better than the next best team. Our player, excuse me. And look at that. Top 3, again, are all tight ends. Jones is a wide receiver. Sutton from the Mounties clearly kicking ass in Toronto. And there you see Evans of the top 6 from the Nighthawks. Touchdowns. Let's see. Who leads in touchdowns? Shepard of the frickin' Orlando Sentinels with 6. 5 by Evan Schuster from the Cougars with 5. I think he's a Cougar, yes. Then there's Moore. Look at that. DJ Moore with 4. And Evans with 5, both Nighthawks. Willie Schneed of the Black Knights and Randall Cobb. He's right there. Let's see. Average yards per game. I know this is going to be interesting. Yep, Hooper. Of course, it's the top 6. Crazy. Now we're going to get into the defense. Total tackles. It is Deion Jones still atop the league, followed by Telvin Smith, Luke Kuechly, C.J. Mosley, Leighton Vander Esch, and Devin White as your top 6. And there's Kendrick since he's tie. Beautiful. Tackles for a loss. Look at this. 13 by Damon Harrison Jr. of the Express, and their defense is struggling. And Ed with the LOL in the chat. Sacks. This is crazy. Bosa with 15 of the Sentinels, and Cameron Jordan with 13. DeMarcus Lawrence with 11. Aaron Donald with 9.5. 9 for Von Miller. Myles Garrett with 7. Look at that, same team. And then there's Mack with 6.5, and Donald with 9.5. So those guys right there have 16 sacks, and these guys have 16 sacks. So the Aviators and the Beats, wow. Leading the league in interceptions, Howard of the Mounties and Ramsey of the Nighthawks, both with 5. You gotta like that. Both have 4 pass deflections. Craziness. Not that we really want to pay too much attention to the kicking, but we're just going to go by the percentage. Who's the best kickers in the league? There you see Butker of the Cougars and Tucker of the Hounds, clearly at 100%. Fairbairn 93. Sentinels is 85. 84 for the Crusaders. We'll go down to last place. Look at this. 46% on field goal attempts for the Nighthawks. Jake Elliott, he's a piece of shit. All right, we're going to go check out the injury report so you guys know what's going on as far as injuries go. We're just going to go like this. Go in alphabetical order. Aviators. Tyler Eifert is out for 5 weeks with a ruptured disc. I almost said a ruptured dick. Wow. A ruptured disc. Okay. Buddy boy, calm down. He is out for 5 weeks. Moving on to the Beats. 0 injuries for the Beats. The Black Knights, no injuries to report. The Cougars, no injuries to report. Crusaders are without Stephon Diggs, their wide receiver. He's still out for 3 weeks due to a broken ribs, and he's been a key piece to their offense, and that could explain their loss this past week and why their offense seemed to struggle. Desperados, they've lost their center to a complete PCL tear for another 4 weeks. The Express, no injuries to report. The Gunners are without their starting quarterback, Lamar Jackson, who has a pulled groin, 3 weeks, and their wide receiver, Jamison Crowder, with a broken collarbone. He will be out 6 weeks. The Hounds have lost Dalvin Cook to a dislocated elbow, but he'll be out just for the week. Shouldn't be a bad problem. The Mounties have no injuries to report. The Nighthawks, there it is, ruptured disc, 8 weeks for Melvin Gordon III. He is out. Huge loss to the Nighthawks, as he's clearly their best player on the offense. Pioneers are without Amari Cooper for 2 weeks, and Fred Warner, the right outside linebacker, is out for a week. The Redwoods, no injuries to report. Riverhogs are without their right outside linebacker, Montez Sweat, for 3 more weeks due to a shoulder tear. The Sentinels are then Shalik Calhoun, 7 weeks for an Achilles tear. Not a big deal. He's not their starter, so it shouldn't hurt them too much. And the Shamrocks have no injuries to report. Now, I want to go to you guys and let you know this. Ed was asking me how I can do it, and I figured out how I can do it. Look at this. This is where I want to give you guys some news so you know what's going on. Once this season is over, I will be relinquishing ownership of the OKC Nighthawks. They will be looking for a new owner, and I'm not going to lie. Here's how it's going to work. I will probably give it to a family member of mine or somebody who's dedicated to the channel and dedicated to watching this league that does not own a team. And if you show me you're one of those people, I have no problem forfeiting the ownership to the team to you, but I need somebody that's going to be involved and be a part of the team. Not everybody in this league shows up to the games when they're live, because I do it random times of random days, so nobody knows the schedule. But the guys check out the replays and they know what's going on, and there's not one owner in this league that does not keep in touch with me. Everybody's been spot on with their job and with what they need to do and taking care of their team properly. And to everybody that's running a team, I thank you. So all 15 of you, thank you for being involved, doing your part. So just be aware, I am getting rid of my team, and I will no longer be owning a team following this season. And here's why. I want to be able to do this. As you look in the bottom of your screen, it says screen. It says select, quick scout, add to board, edit players, back. I'm going to hit that L3 button that says edit players. So now I get to quote unquote edit the draft class if I so desire. Now see, I can go in here and I can adjust anyone I want to how I want to do it. So I'm just going to go to Frederick Connors, the number 1 guy. I'm not going to change anything, but I'm going to hit the X for edit player. I want to let you guys see this. Now I can change his first and last name. This is a guy like Brandon Cuevas who wants to enter the league. So therefore I can edit a player to put his name in there, which I will do here shortly while we're on the air so you guys can see what's going on. I'm not changing anything on this guy for now. So we'll leave his name and his position, his number, his handness. I always wonder if this means anything, if there's a reason why that's on there. I'm always curious. So R1 button takes us to the following: his height, his weight, his age, his skin tone. I can change all this stuff. Now, I'm not going into all these things for all these players. When I edit a player for you on an individual change, I'll change the height and the weight to what you want. Now, if I was on a running back, I'd make him 5'8", 200 pounds right now for Cuevas. And then for age, I'll make all players 20 years old. I'm doing that now. I'm letting you guys know that now. All human players, when they enter the league, will be 20 years old. So he was 22. I'm leaving that alone. Select the skin tone. If I hit X, I get to pick the skin tone guys want. So those are the 7 skin tones for your player. And I'll let guys know, hey, this is the skin tone you want. So it goes from light, lighter, lightest, darkest, whatever the fuck. So they're there. Select face, and this, there's a bunch of different faces. I think it's 46 faces. I'm just not going to change the face for your guy. You get whatever the fuck face you get. I don't give a shit. So moving on to the next part of this. Now, here's the equipment. I'm not worried about a guy's face mask and style of helmet. I'm not worried about that. If he's got a visor, I really don't care about any of that. All this stuff, I can go in here and change and alter a guy however I want. Now, if a guy's going to really whine and bitch and piss and moan, he wants all these cute little things for his player, then maybe, just maybe, I'll change it for him. But honestly, I'm not caring. Now, going here, this is the stuff right here. As you see, his speed is 91, which makes him good in speed. You guys are going to get a real good breakdown of this player right now in the draft. He'll be available to any of you who need a guy. Acceleration is 89, puts him in the good. His agility puts him in the average. So these things are the way they are. Now, mind you, I'll probably edit this guy slightly after I'm done showing him to you, because I don't want nobody knowing his abilities. I'll be changing any and all players in the draft the way I want, the way I see fit as the commissioner of the league. So I can go through here and I can edit any of this. I can make him better. Like play recognition, he's 72. So basically, he's elite with his play recognition. I can drop that down to 57 if I want and make him poor. So you guys never know what you're going to get when you draft a guy. So, now here's the big one. This last page, development, star, superstar, X Factor, or normal. When players enter the league, I'm debating how I want to do it. I will give you guys more details on it soon. We have a couple ideas, but then again, I'm not sure if I like them. It was suggested to me that everybody enters the league normal, and we set criteria based off position. Like, for example, we'll take Cuevas, since he's in the chat and said he'd like to be a running back. If his player can, say, rush for 1,000 yards, he's earned the rights to be considered a star player for the following season. If he can achieve said task a second year, then he would go to superstar. If he does it again, then he becomes a superstar X Factor, meaning he gets an extra ability, if you will, to his character. And it was said to do this for any and all players. I might do it just for human players. But at the same time, I kind of want to let any human player who joins the league be an automatic star. The problem with that is, when you guys do the draft, knowing who's a star, who's normal, who's a superstar, it should be secret. It should be secret. You shouldn't know what's going on. So what I might do for human players is this. Hold it down like this and not look at the screen. Just stop. Whatever I stop on, that's what they would get. I'm thinking about doing that as well. Who knows? Then the penalty. Undisciplined, normal, disciplined. So he's an undisciplined player, which means he plays like a fucking fool. He's a normal player. He's super disciplined. Now, the problem with this, when you're looking at a corner, if he's superly disciplined, he might not be willing to touch the receiver as much as he needs to get the ball out of the air himself and give up the big play. But as an undisciplined player, he may get hit with a lot of fucking penalties. You know, and all these things can be changed. All these things can be set up. Is he a big hitter? Is he that Ronnie Lott style defensive back? Right now, he's a no. I could change this to a yes later if I want. You know, and utilizes all these things. High motor, yes, I can change all this stuff for any and all players. So when you guys do the draft, you don't know exactly what you're going to get, which makes it interesting. And you got to pay attention to the scouting, which makes it fun. So, like I said, as far as these things go, I'm going to keep this secret. Anybody who joins the league, anyone who's in the league, whether you're a player or an owner, if you have suggestions when it comes to the player traits when creating human players, I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I'm not going to rip off any other leagues that are out here on YouTube doing this, because there's quite a few of them and there's a lot of good ones. But I'm not ripping off somebody's ideas. I want to just come up with our own shit, our own philosophies. So as I was saying, I'm going to discard all changes to him. I'm going to go to running back, Ralph McDonald. Hey, look at that guy, Mike Ritter. That's fucking hilarious. Ralph McDonald. It's showing me right now Ralph McDonald's probably the 23rd best pick in the draft. But, again, he's number one on the list. And we've now had somebody who wants to join the league. So I will be doing this and adding one Brandon Cuevas. Hold on a second. Discard change. I want to see something in it. Okay, they are lowercase. That's what I wanted to see. Okay. We're going to add Mr. Brandon Cuevas to the draft board right now. And I want to say, Brandon, congratulations on being the first human player to enter this league. Now, as far as your players build and all that other stuff, and what he is or isn't going to be, I'll take care of that myself. Now, right now it says number 23 is your guy. That all can fucking change simply because you never know. You said 5'8", and you said 200 pounds. And then, like I said, I'm going to make him 20. Modify skin tone. You're in the chat, Quabos. This I will give you a chance to pick, because I do want people to pick their skin tone. So hopefully you're still with us. If not, I'm going to probably go with a 3, because I think it about matches your skin tone. If I'm not mistaken. You're probably a 3 or a 4 skin tone. So I'll give you 5 seconds here to answer it. If not, I'm going to make you Seamus. Or maybe I'll make you Junkyard Dog. But I think you're a 3 or a 4. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, we're going to go with this one for now. Then modify the face. Ain't that some shit? You only get 4 options if you're that skin tone. I want to see something once. Do you get more? Yeah, depending on the fucking... Actually, fucking... I swear to God, that looks like him. I swear to God, that looks like Quabos. Fuck this. We're taking that as Quabos for right now. Alright. Now, like I said, I'll be dealing with any of this other stuff later as I can. But Quabos is now officially part of the draft board. Now, save changes. There he is. He is on the draft board. He is a part of the league. And then, so we go back to this. I mean, all these guys, you never know who's what. I'm going to be editing almost every player in the draft once the season's over. This way you guys have time to analyze your team, look over everything. And then I'm going to do a video. In that video, I am going to look at the draft classes. Now, I'll go back here. I will show you guys this so you can see. I've been taking my personal team, and I forget what I've been scouting. What have I been scouting with this account? I've been scouting the wide receivers, as you see. I will then go to the video with the accounts that have been scouting, because I gave each team a particular position to scout. Let me see if I can find my sheet here. It's on one of my notebooks. I think it's this one right here. Yeah, here we go. The Aviators have been scouting the quarterbacks, the Beats, the running backs, the Mounties have the fullbacks, Nighthawks, the wide receivers, Blackhawks, the tight ends, and so on. So I'll go to each team that's scouted those positions, and I'll bring this up. And then what I'll do is I'll go rookie wide receivers, or draft prospects, wide receivers, whatever we call the video. And I will go through all these players like this. So now, like, I can click on him and show you each individual guy one by one if we need to, because you're going to see the combine report. And it's going to be an intense video with each and every single player. And then you guys as owners are going to have to know who you are interested in and not interested in. Now, here's the catch. These puzzle pieces are for the Nighthawks. Each team was randomly drawn as to what they were going to scout. So it might not work for your team. Understand that. Like right now, Marshall Gross is quote-unquote an undrafted talent in the Nighthawks scheme. If your scheme is similar to the Nighthawks, your draft boards might come out the same thing. But if you play completely different, a guy like Marshall Gross might be good enough to be a top 1, 2, 3, or 4 round player. That's where you guys as coaches and owners are going to have to figure out the system. I don't know the system yet, and we're all going to learn it on the whim. So whoever figures it out the best is going to make it. Like right here, Alonzo McMahon. You're fired, McMahon. Okay, McMahon. Anyway, he's rated number 1 first round prospect for the Nighthawks, but he's 12th ranked overall. It's crazy. Down here's a 4. I mean, this is wild. Not all these guys have been scouted yet, so I'll be doing all of them with all the points before the season ends. And if all goes well, every single player should get scouted before the season's end at every position. So we're going to have a quarterback video, running back and fullback video, wide receivers video, a tight ends video, all that stuff. It's going into week 7. We were going to do re-signs week 4, 8, 12, 16, 17. But if you want to try and re-sign your players at any time, just get in touch with me. I have no problem problem popping the game in and going to your players and letting you guys see what you've got going on as far as re-signing. But if there's anything in the chat room you guys didn't see that you would like to see, let me know now in the chat. I can go click on those things now so you guys can see what's going on. But while we're doing that, I'm going to go to, where is it at? Is it in here? No, it's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to Players of the Week. I forget how to get to that. Somewhere in here. I always forget where it's at. Is it in this? I don't think so. Yes, it is. Awards. Weekly awards. I'm going to go back to week 1. Now, obviously, you only need to look at the right side of your screen because that is our league. The offensive player of the week in week 1 was Melvin Gordon of the Nighthawks. And then Harmon was the defensive player of the week for the Black Knights. Week 2, it was Dwayne Haskins, quarterback for the Dublin Shamrocks. Khalil Mack was the defensive player of the week for the Beats. Week 3, Dallas Whalen, the rookie, in his second career start for the Mounties, was the player of the week. Aaron Donald, defensive player of the week for the Black Knights, and he is no longer with the Black Knights. He has since been traded. Week 4, Dak Prescott, the offensive player of the week for the Nighthawks, then the Hounds. Cameron Jordan, defensive player. Week 5, Dak Prescott again, and Geno Atkins for the Nighthawks, which is impressive. And then in week 6, Sentinels, Marcus Mariota was the offensive player of the week, and Keanu O'Neal, the defensive player of the week, also for the Sentinels. So a clean sweep for the Sentinels in week 6. So you had the Nighthawks in 5 and the Sentinels in week 6, and those two teams are undefeated. And what's crazy is they don't play in the regular season. It'd be nice to see those teams do battle in the regular season, but it's not going to happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's that. So I didn't see anybody post anything in the chat room of what they want to see and they didn't see. So we've been on the air live here for, I don't know, how long's it been? Let's see. It's been 40 minutes already. Holy shit. So, that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. What's going on, King Dominator? I'm going to wrap up this Week 7 report for the Dynasty Football League. And if you are a part of Outlaw Championship Wrestling, we are going live at 5 p.m., which is in about 2.5 hours. Big show. 8 huge matches are going to take place. And a lot of stuff's going on as we move towards Cold War. But this video is about the Dynasty Football League as we move towards Dynasty Bowl 1. Again, if you want to be a player, let me know personally, privately. Leave a message to any of these shows. You can do just like Brandon Cuevas did. He picked his position. He told me his height and his weight. And we'll get you in there. Pick a skin tone, any other little information you might think I need. I'll create your player. It's not wrestling. You don't get a gimmick name. Like, for example, King Dominator won't be the name of a player. I would need a name. DOA is not going to be the name of a player. And last but not least, before I end this, if you are an owner in this league, when the season ends, you may create yourself. You don't have to. You don't have to. But you may create yourself as a player on your own team. The rules are simple. Your player can be one statistic overall better than your current starter. So let's just say you want to make yourself a quarterback and your starter's a 93. You may be a 94. Okay? You may be a 94 if you wish. And then the only other rule is you will release the player from your team that you are replacing as the starter. So you're not going to maintain your starter and make him the bench player as you become the starter. So to be a player in the league, you will make yourself as a starter on your team, one statistic overall better than the current starter. That's how we're going to do this. I've been thinking about it all day. I was talking about it with Ed. Him and I didn't really have a discussion as far as what we could do because we were both kind of stumped. And I thought about it earlier after I hung up with him. That's how we're going to do it to make it as fair and as easy as possible. Now, what I'll do is this. I'll show you guys this real quick. My battery's running low. Big fucking deal. So we're going to go like this. Since I said I was talking to Ed, for example, I'll go to his team. He is the Beats. So here he is, the beats. I know we were talking lineman for him, for example. So let's say he wanted to replace Cam Robinson. Ed would become a starter at 73. Not a good choice. He'd be 71. He'd be 72. He'd be 89. Not a bad move, but you lose a guy like Shaq Mason, or he replaces McGlinchey, who'd be an 85. So chances are he's going to address these three positions in the draft. Now let's say he wants to replace Irv Smith at tight end. Here's the thing. These two guys are fucking young, and I'll go back to that tight end statement. If he can develop these motherfuckers, we might as well quit. Anyway, he can replace Jarvis Landry and become an 86 overall wide receiver. Remember, he gets to be 20 years old, and Landry's 27. And then he has Kirk, who's 23. Are you serious? You know, he could replace his fullback and be a 70. He could replace Alvin Kamara and become a 92 running back. He could replace Jared Goff and become an 85 quarterback. He can go over here and replace the 92 overall Harrison Smith at strong safety and become 93 overall and be 20 years old. Huge upgrade, in my opinion. You know, these are all his options. You know, and every team will have that option, and I can go over it with each team and let everybody know what we're looking at and how we're doing it. So that was the decision I made. I think everybody will be okay with that and be cool with it. It makes it interesting. I know his son Dwayne was like, I just want to be a player, not an owner, because I didn't think he knew he could be both. Now that he's aware he can be both, he's going to be both, I hope, because I'm really interested in what Dwayne does with the Mounties. I mean, he's already made a crazy decision in benching Cam Newton, who I do think sucks, but he's starting this rookie Dallas Whalen, and Whalen keeps getting better. His arm's getting stronger. He's starting to really develop. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end this video right here, right now. I have a phone call to make because I need to find me a running back before I go up against these fucking desperados this week and they kick my ass. And so ladies and gentlemen, thank you for checking us out here. Dynasty Football League Week 7 report. And don't forget, Outlaw Championship Wrestling goes live at 5 o'clock today. That's Eastern Time. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is the SLS Gaming Network. This has been the Dynasty Football League, and we'll see you on the field.